Tim, thanks for having me out. So what you have is a typical cast-in-place foundation, poured concrete in between two forms. And when they pour the footing, then they pour the wall on top of it, then they pour the floor next. So what we want to be able to do is explore what the footing looks like. And the footing and the wall are the actual foundation of the house. We know we have activity with the house based on the things that we see just above doorways and with the door fit. Classic case of down and away. So we know we have a break someplace along this area as well as along this area, and there's probably several. The splitting of the drywall, as we start to see it, it begins to diminish as we make it back here. Now we're on the rear wall of the house, but we're still seeing splitting happening. So we want to be very, very attentive and the pull to what's going on with the wall here. So the wall dead ends into this point. So this is where the system will stop. So we'll show the drain tile system running along. Now we could put the pump there and discharge underneath the deck someplace. We could put the pump anywhere in the system. We make the low spot. So what you're going to need is electric, which is the main thing. So this corner is a great place. Now I was able to work on your property in the country. We have better materials in the sense that the pits themselves, I buy one that's bolted down, it's ready for radon. House may not have it, but this town's inherent with it, so we're going to make sure we don't leak it in here. The floor will be open about 16 to 18 inches off the foundation wall, so we'll need drywall cut up a couple feet just to be able to get to the concrete to take the floor out. The house, I want to be clear about this. This house doesn't have a water problem. This house has an issue with a little bit of settlement. And so we want to make sure that we're good stewards of the house and we see the foundation footings. That's why we're doing this. It won't hurt to be able to manage the water because this house has drains that went laterally out and away when it was built. And they're like anything else. They'll work as well as they can. And then there comes a point in time where they don't work anymore. So we're going to be helping that. And by doing that, then we can draw this water and keep the water table down. But it's Missouri; it's a show-me state. We'll be able to see where the actual breaks in the footings are and deal with them accordingly.
Will you likely find those old drain lines, the hydrostatic lines?
I'm going to make myself find them outside. I'm glad you brought that point up. It cannot hurt to help them. So at the house where we find them walking away, we'll investigate that corner, find it. We can replumb it if we can find it. It may be non-existent. It may be that they thought about it or it runs a foot or two. But I think that's important to see if we can release a glut of water that would be there, if it is there. So having said that, piers will come into play in the event that we're going to support the house from sinking. Piers are put under the footing, and I'll send you what a detail looks like about that. Water management's everything, having it put in PVC away from the house, and we're going to do that with the downspout wherever we put the pump. We're going to grab whatever one's there, if there is one, and take it with it to a dry well that'll at least be 20 feet out away from the house. So we're going to start with a 2-wall drain tile system. I will come back out, and then we'll deal with what we have at that point, and we'll make the adjustments with any wall cracks that we find, and we'll deal with them with closed cell urethane and carbon fiber. And then we'll also be setting the footing still as needed with piers. And if we have to shim the footing, we'll get into that as we look at it. But I appreciate you having me out. All the other stills will be put in this, and this will all be put in a Google folder. Thanks a lot, Tim.
Okay.
How's that for the classic dog in it and everything?